Hey, hi David.
Hi.
Something strange happened and I was kicked out of the session.
Hi.
Yeah, so I'll start. My name is Adrian. I will host the Q&A session. I will invite everyone that's watching us to use the chat to ask the questions. I'm also going to write it there. Unfortunately, I was in another Q&A session, so I couldn't follow your interesting discussion with Philip Kendall. I just saw the last part. And I wanted, until we're going to get some questions from the audience, I wanted to drill down a bit on what you just said at the end, related to stay true to your dreams, but pivot on the business model, because this is one of the things that I noticed with a lot of entrepreneurs. They are pushing back on their initial idea, not just the idea, the dream, but also the way that it's implemented, despite feedback from a lot of experienced people. What, in your experience, was the best way to kind of guide people through opening up into different business models?
In my experience, because our business and most of the businesses I've been involved with are consumer focused, the best advice comes from the users, right? So you think your product is going to be used in this way, but then you have like users come and start using it in a different way, and so you kind of have to adapt to what your users want, right? So with consumer businesses, it's pretty easy to basically constantly do a lot of testing, and basically see where you need to adapt and what you need to adapt. I would say, kind of to what you said, I would be careful listening to experts because if instead I would listen to the customers and the users.
That's where the focus should be. Get out of the building, talk to real users.
I think that's right. And I'm not sure you have to get out of the building for that. You just have to launch your product and look at the data.
Going to how you started your company, and when you looked at the very beginning and you thought of the challenges ahead, what was a challenge that was totally surprising to you, that you did not consider that would come along the way and kind of like make the journey harder than you expected?
Well, there was quite a lot of challenges like that. I'll give you a few. I mean, one is, we build the business in Silicon Valley. All of our employees are in California. Our office, in Redwood City, and so on. And we, almost by accident, got like millions of users in emerging markets. And just because our product took off there, like in a big way. And so basically that was a challenge where we needed to understand, like, why are people using us in Egypt, and and so on. Another challenge, which I would have never believed in the early days, but recruiting really good people. Hiring was very hard in Silicon Valley. I thought in the beginning when I was starting my business that if we had the money, if we raised enough money, we could hire anyone. Well, we raised 63 million and we still couldn't hire anyone. So it was like, it was just very, very challenging to recruit people.
So we don't have questions from the audience yet. So I will ask you a question. Probably Philip did a very good job having the right questions. And I'm sure that the information that you shared was very useful. You are talking about a lot of interesting and inspirational companies. And I would like to ask you if you could recommend, books, sources of reading that are good inspiration for you, good learning for you, that kind of drive your thought patterns.
Yeah, I really like Abundance by Peter Diamandis. Which is a book about what I'm talking about, which is like, how do you focus on solving billion-person problems, and how will the evolution, like the really fast pace of technology and science, help sort of solve real problems for society and for the world.
Okay, so we're gonna since we don't have any other additional questions, we're gonna wrap up a bit faster than anticipated. Thanks so much, David, for your time. And if anyone has questions for David, do use the chat in the general event and reach out, and I'm assuming you can follow up with answers.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Cool. Thanks, Adrian.
Thanks, everyone.
Take care. Take care. Bye.